Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm going to be talking about borderline personality disorder and complex PTSD. That made people too upset to hear that I was somebody who thought about suicide often, and my lack of ability to potentially make it through the day or to get through what I was experiencing. Having complex PTSD and borderline personality is that the things that you're interested in doing can sometimes be difficult to do because you've got so many other things going on, or you might be so depressed from something. That's something that's hard for a lot of people to hear. I know growing up talking about that sort of feeling with my parents, for example, I wasn't allowed to talk about that. Unfortunately, people with mental illness tend to then self-impose that onto ourselves. And so in that way, I feel like it can be hurtful when it comes from somebody else. But at the same time, in times where I am feeling confident, I actually love my craziness. And it's something that I'm actually quite happy about. For me, really, to be inside my head is to feel like I'm on a teeter-totter, like a seesaw, and at any moment it can just flip to the other side, which is an extreme emotion. So it can be like extreme rage, extreme sadness. I also experience extreme excitement, which can make it really challenging sometimes for other people in my life to handle. With borderline personality, we tend to do what's called splitting, which is to take one person and then see two sides of them depending on how we feel about them. Everything about them is amazing, and then something potentially sets me off or triggers me or makes me feel like they don't love me or don't care about me, then I go to hating them. So that can make relationships really difficult. So I'm just bursts of emotion and then finding quick ways to soothe myself when they're uncomfortable. And that can look like self-harm in so many ways. So that can be drug abuse. For me specifically, that also includes cutting, picking, hair pulling, disordered eating habits, and basically pushing myself to the extreme till I break, and then something destructive ends up happening. Really finding a way to get into a habit or a routine where I feel satisfied, and really just trying to find a way for me to live my life where I'm not self-harming constantly. My biggest fear is that I'll end up being drug addicted and alone until I die and just live an unhappy life. That's my biggest fear. So I would say my social life is very, very limited. Borderline personality disorder is that push and pull with people, and the ultimate fear that people don't love me for me. I don't trust people. I get really paranoid that people don't actually like me, that they're talking about me behind my back. I can't really deal with that, so I end up pushing people away. Online, I have a lot of people that I talk to, like through the communities online, which is amazing because that has saved my life. It's not easy for me to really know what I want to change yet because I'm still working on what I feel comfortable with. I know that I do want to have more people in my life physically, friends that I can meet up with and go see and feel comfortable with, because the thing is, it's me. I'm not the one who feels comfortable. They're probably fine. It's me who runs away. Before, I was an inpatient on a psychiatric unit as a patient. So I worked there, not in the same one, but I worked there before I was actually a patient. So I always knew what it was like to be on the other side. And there was one of the nurses that was coming to me. She was blown away, and I don't know how to express it, blown away to hear that I had a master's degree and that I had worked as an occupational therapist. She had actually patted me on the back. Like, she was so blown away that she then was like, wow, good for you, in the most condescending, patronizing way. How small I felt in that moment. Like, of course we're smart. Of course we do things. Of course we're just like every other person. And this was coming from a nurse on the psychiatric unit. That was really hard to You don't even have to have a diagnosis of complex PTSD or borderline personality disorder to have experienced trauma. If you're somebody who is going through a lot, please know that you aren't crazy. Your brain is going to tell you that you are, and people, unfortunately, are going to tell you that you are. But this is the effects of having experienced trauma. If you do relate to me, we tend to put ourselves down and say there's something wrong with us and we need to conform, and what is going on with our inability to fit into this world. And I just want you to know that we didn't do anything. We had things done to us, or we experienced things that we didn't ask for. Our brain is going to tell us that it is our fault. That's just how it happens. And so as much as it feels real, watch this, watch anything that you can, like just connect with somebody that can tell you that it is not your fault and that it's normal to hear the things that you're telling yourself, and that reaching out is the only thing that you can do. Why can't we just be different? But the thing is that we've been through stuff that does biologically change our brain. Let's say you're a ship and you're sailing forward and you drop an anchor. And that's a life experience of yours that you don't want to remember and you're trying to forget about because it was traumatic, it was horrible, and you're trying to move forward. You've dropped an anchor, you're not going anywhere. And as much as we try not to even look at it, you can't even see it, it's under the water. Your boat's not going anywhere and you're going to be stuck. What I needed to do and didn't know how to do, and still am learning how to do, is how to pick up that anchor and actually bring it on board with me. And then my ship can carry forward. You're not crazy and you're not alone, even though your brain is telling you that. So go talk to somebody. That would be what I have to say, is talk to somebody who understands and is going to validate you. And if that means just going to your family doctor just to say like, hey, I don't know, I'm having weird thoughts, or you will find the right person. And if that right person isn't the first person, push them aside and find a new person, because you know what, you're worth it. And there are going to be people who are not going to be on our side for whatever reason, but that's their issue and it is not your fault. That's something that I'm telling myself that right now as I'm telling you, because we need to hear it all the time. I need to be reminded of that every day as well.
Thank you for watching this interview. For the full version, visit our website. And in the meantime, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and share it with anyone who could benefit from it. Have a beautiful day.